Hi, this is Peyton, and welcome to my tutorial on how to set up a good interview. Okay, there's a few things you're going to need first, and they're all laid out right here. Okay, we'll start. We got C-stand, big silver thing, huge, cumbersome, and quite annoying, quite honestly. Kind of hard to see, but we got a camera over here, a pair of headphones, because you need to be able to hear what you're doing, a mic set, which I like lavalier mics. I think they're great for interviews. We have a set of reflectors to get proper light balance, the actual light kit, and then our camera tripod. And that should be pretty much all you're going to need for a good interview. It's not too tricky, but here we go. I'll show you how to set it up. Okay, first things first is we're going to set up the camera here. What you need is a tripod and your camera, obviously. I'm going with a 60D for this one just because it's easy. You can probably do it standing, but you're going to want a tripod because this is going to be a lot of still shots. And with these, the thing you want to watch out for is there's a little bubble here telling you to level it out. You can actually loosen this thing on the bottom and level it by hand, which I find very helpful, especially when it's just not one to get level, like this one right now. Come on. Man, this just doesn't really know what to get level. Okay. That's going to have to do for now. And then you loosen and pop this thing off. This thing goes on the bottom, and you got to put it on the bottom, it goes in this hole. Don't forget to take it off when you're done. There are so many people that forget to do that, and it is annoying as hell. Because then you can't find it, and people get pissed, and it's just don't forget to take it off. It's way easier that way. Just screw it in. Generally you want a coin or something, but since I'm not actually using it, I'm just hunting it with my fingers. But generally you want a coin to get that nice and tight. Set this in here. Slide it on. And then lock it down over here. Once it's locked down, turn on your camera. And make sure you got a good angle. Okay. Next up is going to be the lights. Now this part's tricky. Okay, and here we are with the large RE light kit. As you can see, we got quite a few options here. I'm only going to be using probably two of these. One of the big 650s, and then this tiny little one here, just so I can get a little bit of coverage, because I actually got a lot of natural light in this area, so I won't need too much light. But it's always good to be able to control your light. Okay, and here's going to be kind of my basic light setup. Like I said, because I have such great daylight coming through, I'm actually kind of using that as a fill light. So right here on the left is my main light, and then on the right I'm actually going to use that as my backlight, which seems weird because it's in front of it, but I'm going to use that to bounce off a light reflector to get a good backlight fill. And that's kind of what I'm going for. So yeah, and then now I'm going to show you how to set up that reflector to really get that good bounce you need. Okay, now I'm going to this is actually a special little segment I'm going to do, showing you how to set up a C-stand, because these things are, pardon my French, but fucking annoying to set up. Okay. Now, it's best to have them on the ground like this, just so they don't fall, because they're heavy as shit. You want to loosen this up as much as you can, so you can pull these out, which they kind of don't want to sometimes. Then you gotta get a good tripod set up here. And you want to do this on the ground, otherwise it'll just get annoying to try and keep it balanced. And you gotta set up like that. And then we gotta move up here to the top. Which this is all a confusing clusterfuck of things, but what we're going to do is we're going to try and loosen this arm here. Now I like using this to kind of clamp and hold my reflector, which is what I'm going to be doing today. So get a good angle that you like. I'm going to go right about here. That maybe it's going to be a little bit high, but then like that. And then we're going to set this up kind of over here. Yeah, that should be good. So we're going to set this up over here, and then bust out a reflector. Or as I like to call them, giant thunder frisbees. Because these things, wait for it, Bam! They're big. And since they actually got some natural light, as you can see, this comes in 2 different styles. There's a silver or sometimes gold. The gold is good for daylight, the silver is more for indoor. And since we got a lot of natural light, I might be using the gold, because gold also reflects a lot more light, and it makes the person a lot more bright and warm, which works well with sunlight. And that's what we're going for here. Okay, and then we're going to take this. You gotta loosen it. Spin it loose. Set it up here. Let's turn this sideways. There we go. Then clamp it up in here. Get it in and tighten it down. And this is what you use a C-stand for. And we're going to probably angle it a bit more so we get it more reflecting towards the chair. And that's how you set up a C-stand. It's quite simple, but deceptively tricky sometimes, and they can be annoying. Okay, and now that we have the lights and the C-stand set up with the reflector, we're going to turn on our lights and get our light balanced as much as possible. Now this is going to be a little tricky for me because I don't have an actual person to be sitting in, but I'm going to be sitting in for the interview here, so I'm just going to make it work as best I can. Now that you've been sufficiently blinded, I'll show you how we're going to set this up properly. Okay, first thing here, I'm going to show you how we're going to set up the backlight. I turned off all of the other lights, and all we got is this small light here. Now this light is a lot more focused than most. So I'm going to focus it directly on the reflector here and try and move our reflector around to get a good light. Now let's see, we're going to want a little something. Okay. Space we have is not exactly the best for this, but I'm going to make it work with what I got. Okay. And that should be good right there. And just clamp it down so it doesn't move. Okay, and now that we have the reflector set up, we can turn on the main light and really light the scene up. Now here, you're going to want to be very careful with these lights, because these lights get really hot really fast. Generally, don't touch the light unless you absolutely have to, and if you do, get oven mitts or something to insulate your hands, because they will burn the shit out of you, and it hurts. Now, I kind of like this setup we got here. It's pretty simple. It's just kind of giving a nice even lighting to the person who will be sitting there. I think this is a good setup we got. Okay, and now that we have all of the setup for the lights and everything for the scene set up, we're going to go over sound. And this is very important in an interview, obviously, because... And what we got here is a lavalier set. This is a wireless one, which is super useful. And it comes with it's got a receiver and a sender. And these do take AA, so you can need some AA's. Luckily I have some on me. Plus you're going to need headphones, because you got to be able to hear it. And you're definitely going to want a sound person, and that sound person needs to have headphones, because it can get hard, and you need to be able to check that audio on the fly, because things can change in a heartbeat. Now the first thing, obviously, is you want to put the batteries in. Which is kind of obvious, but you know, never hurts to say it. And then this, it turns on, that's a good sign. And then plug them in. Bam! Okay, ours are on. This one's the receiver. So it's going to get this little boy. This will plug into our camera and plug into the receiver. And this is the way that the camera can get the sound. So just plug the sucker in, tighten it down. And this goes into your camera. And then this is our lavalier mic. Or as some people call it, a clip mic, because it just clips on here. Although this one doesn't appear to have a clip, so we're going to need some tape. But this will go in the transmitter here. Plug in the same way, plug it in and lock it down. And then this can be clipped onto your person who you're interviewing, their hip, their belt, just anywhere you can click this where it's not going to be seen. And then this usually gets run up the shirt and taped right here. But since I don't have any tape or anything at the moment, I'm just going to set it here. Because, I mean, if you can see a little mic, that's not too big a problem. As long as you don't see this big honking battery pack. And then we take this, and we're going to plug it into the camera. And this way, anything I say will be transmitted through this to the camera. And then you're going to obviously want to plug your headset into the camera so you can hear what they're saying. And that, basically right there, is how you set up a good interview. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.